I think it's about that time. It is about that time. It's issues time. Daily issues. To be or not to be. That is the fucking question. I don't even know why I titled this video To Be or Not to Be, but that's the title. I mean, maybe it should be to stream or not to stream. That is the question. Hi everybody. Welcome back to Phil the Issues Guy's YouTube channel. I'm Phil. That's Lotus. Howdy dog. Bless you. And bless everyone that happens to be popping in here. This is gonna start some daily activity, some daily douching. Like, not the cleaning kind of douching. Some kind of cleaning. Cleaning out my head. I'm going on a walk with Lotus and I decided to bring you guys with me. What's up? Hey, we've got some friends in the live chat. Oh, we got Broke Black Man who has a different screen name here. We got Georgie the Jedi. We got so many awesome folks. We got Shadow in the live chat. It's all about like, why are you live right now? Why are you talking to me? Well, one of the reasons why I decided to come live here is to share a few thoughts about the television series premiere of Mayans, which I watched. Smokahontas, huge hug for you. Let's give a hug to Smokahontas. And let's go in the back of Lotus right now. Lotus, the dog, walks through the neighborhood. She comes up to the puppy dog station. That's right. One of our neighbors has put together this called the Pup Station. What does that give me? I want some treats. They're not as good as Smokahontas' treats, but they're freaking delicious. Oh my goodness. So, yes, this is my dog Lotus. Oh, wait. I was just aiming like the camera was still turned around. Lotus, can you say hi to people? Yeah, let's like, fuck you. I don't give a shit. Today is Lotus's birthday, actually. Happy fucking birthday, Lotus. Lotus is 6 years old today. Lotus is a fucking kindergartner. Hey, LMR and everyone that's popping on in here. There's not going to be really much function to this stream, but happy to answer any questions, any silliness. To be and not to be. That is the question. Whether it's nobler in the minds to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to strip down in the middle of a street and show my titties. To rise, to sleep, to walk away. No, I'm kidding. Before the neighbors give me some fucking crazy shit. Bernie the Burnt. First day of school for Lotus? Yes, it is. It's the first day of school for everybody, as we're going to be walking through a college campus. I don't pee the bed anymore. Does Lotus poop and I didn't see it? Someone asked me if I'm going to pick that up. Is that the Dwork Burger in there? I totally see the Dwork Burger. I'm killing you. Hey, yo, Adrian! I got my little dog, Butt Chucks. What was it? Butt Lips? What was... Anyone who knows Rocky well enough, what the hell was the dog's name? Butt Kiss. Butt Kiss, that's what it was. Hey, Butt Kiss! Butt Kiss isn't like a normal dog. Butt Kiss is like an alien species or something, Adrian's. I think it was Butt Kiss. I think that was the name of the dog. Is this where I can bash Mayans? Yes, you can bash Mayans all you want here. Joe and I will be doing a full review, I believe, tomorrow morning, discussing the show. But if you have any bashings of Mayans, you can do it right here. Or do it tomorrow with Joe and I, or leave us a message at 781-990-8509. Very curious to what you're thinking. Joe is very vague about his thoughts. I think maybe I'm a little higher on it than you, Bernie, but the thing I didn't like about it, if I'm just getting it right off the bat, it took itself very seriously. And I think what made early Sons of Anarchy, and I think Sons of Anarchy all the way through for the most part, is it always had a little bit of a sense of humor to it. And I think Kurt Sutter works the best when he has that sense of humor. The Shield had it as well. It's important to his tonality of what he does. And I think Mayans was good for me in the way it was delivered. Like, it looked really well. Some of the sky tracking shots were done really well. And I think it was cool to be back in that universe a little bit. But I did wish it was a little bit more funny, if that makes sense at all. And I know that could possibly just be like, it's not fucking funny shit, dude. But I feel like early Sons of Anarchy, especially when you're dealing with Half-Sack and some early Tig stuff, always had that heavy weight to it, but also had that humor to it. Ron Perlman adds to that as well. everything was just very thick. And it would be tough for me to do a full review without watching it again to kind of pick up on everything. And, of course, Gemma shows up. I'm surprised they didn't have a Katie Seagal song going on somewhere, but they did have Gemma show up at a point in time. But, not my favorite thing I've ever watched in my life, but I was definitely into it enough to watch it again next week. So I hear you, Bernie. I hear you. I hear you. Oh, what a piece of work is man. How noble in reason. How infinite in my asshole. Peg Bundy is my wife. I love Peg Bundy. I gotta admit, I was growing up, I had a little bit more of like as a kid growing up, I was all about Kelly and all about Christina Applegate. And I think that's grown with me. I think I still have Hollywood crush on Christina Applegate. She's fucking amazing. One of the funniest people on earth. But Katie Seagal is fucking incredible. And she is, Peg Bundy is an amazingly iconic television character. And I think the great thing about Katie Seagal, she's one of those sneaky good people. And you look at her whole career and you just go, fuck, she's been in so much and been so many great bit roles. She was all right in Lost, playing John Locke's girlfriend briefly. But she's played 3 really iconic television characters with Peg Bundy, Gemma Teller Morrow, and you can't forget Leela from Futurama, which I know it's voice acting, but she's still so important to the dynamic of that show and her relationship with Fry and just Leela as a character in general. What am I talking about? The Fifth Element? Lilo Dallas, multipass. I need a multipass, Corbin Dallas. Multipass. No, I'm not talking about multipasses. I'm talking about Leela. Leela, sorry. Let me kick in it. Let me go in the live chat here for a second. I gotta call in live. It's not the same thing. I need to feel the hype. Fifth Element. Cool, so definitely call in live. I need to get the live phone lines back and working again, but I know what you mean. You want to call and leave a voicemail after you hear me and Joe bitching about something and be more live in the reaction rather than leave one now. But we should be on tomorrow morning. Joe likes the mornings because his mornings are his evenings. Hey, AK. Great to see AK in the live motherfucking chat. Lilu Dallas Multipass. Santovia Major, Nirvana Design. Sorry, Broke, your name's freaking me out. Fandom D Saint. My brother watches Sons of Anarchy, but he ain't happy with Mayans. Thank you, Dworky Burger. Just came in. What's up with this walk? You know something, Mean Gene Oakland. I'm realizing that I go on these walks, I go on these journeys. I'm always talking to myself, and I always joke or say or threaten to bring you with me all the time. So now it's just time to actually do it. To bring you with me on all these walks, or at least daily, a couple of times a week. No more talking about it, just doing it. So you're gonna have to deal with me in a way that you had to deal with me on vacation, where I'm just popping on the microphone, babbling about nothing, practicing insanity on you. I am insane. That's my magic. Is that me doing? Is that me doing a trick? No, a trick is something that somebody does for money. Michael, this is an illusion. That person I just walked by was looking at me like, who is this insane fucker? And why is he screaming at his telephone? What is his problem? Scroll through. Sorry if I missed some chat. It's harder on the phone to get every piece of live motherfucking chat, but let me go. We got AK, we got the commander in the live chat. Centovia, we got Travis. Train hard, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and believe in yourself, brother. I love how by the end it got the believing in yourself part got added. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, train. Anyone else have the Hulk Hogan workout set when they were a kid? That had the cassette tape, sounded like phone sex porn with the Hulk like sweating at you. Oh yeah, workout. Hulkster's really hard now. You feel how hard the Hulkster's arms are? Grab the Hulkster. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, brother. So let me put this street right here where I'm about to cross. So many people have been hit by cars here, and the other day I was walking across, someone let me go, like someone's letting me go right now, this wonderful person right there is letting me go. And on the other side, someone came and like zipped past where the other person was and almost hit me. And I like swerved at the last minute. I was swerving Minerva, the Red Witch, swerving Minerva, and I like dodged it like Matrix-like speeds. Like, whoa, that was a car. So I'm at the beach the other day, on Monday maybe? And I'm on the beach and someone walks up to me and goes, hey, hey you, hey you, get your damn hands off her. And he's like, hey you look wicked familiar, dude. And I'm like, yeah, I look familiar. You know that I look like Weird Al and Jesus had a kid? Is that what you mean I look familiar? Or do I actually look like familiar to someone you know? And they said, I can't place it, I can't place it. Then they saw Lotus, who was with me as well, and they, oh, I almost hit you the other day. And it was the same dude that almost hit me in the crosswalk. And he's like, sorry, man. And he gave me a beer, gave me a free sandwich, apologized. I said, you know, the sandwich and the beer is very wonderful, dude. I appreciate it, but don't drive like an asshole next time, okay? Like, obviously I'm noticeable. Look, I'm a fucking noticing fuck. Hey kids, come with me down the dark alley. I'm gonna take you on an adventure. I know, Lotus, you're like, you don't want to hear me talking. She's like, you're freaking me out, Daddy. Stop with the fucking talking. So right now I am walking down a bike path, in case anyone wants to come and attack me here. I'm walking down a bike path in Salem. Oh my god, let's scroll through this again. I'm surprised people read usernames and just look at the profiles. Fandom, what's up with... Oh yeah, what's up with the name change? Broke is always evolving. That's what's happening, AK. Broke is not... He's not going to be locked into any one name. Phil reminds me of Butthead. I have to get off my chest. Thank you. It's funny, in my friendship relationship at the Beavis and Butthead age, I was actually the Beavis of the group. Because I'd be like, yeah, ha, ha. But I'll definitely take the Butthead thing. I'd say more Wayne Campbell meets Ted, Keanu Reeves, but I will definitely take the Butthead. Oh, that's cool. Definitely take it, Smokahontas. No one's believing the Hulk's bullshit these days. 24-inch pythons, brother. What you gonna do, Mean Gene Okerlund, when the 24-inch pythons destroy you? Yeah, fandom, when do you change it? I had a Get in Shape girl with the rhythm of gymnastics. I actually played with the Get in Shape girl stuff as well. Get in shape. And there was like a theme song to it, wasn't there, Bernie? Get in shape, girl. You know how to do it. It's something like that. Like, I'm totally destroying the song, but there was definitely a theme song to the Get in Shape girl. Get in shape, girl. You know how to do it. Get in shape, girl. You know how to blue. What the fuck was it? Sorry, Lotus. Low tide. Gotta go, my lovelies. Have fun. LMR, thank you so much for popping on in here, buddy. Lots of love to you. Carmine, I love you, buddy. Come work for me at my dispensary. You work in a fucking dispensary, dude? Fuck, man. Carmine, I do need a job. We got Carmine. I love you, buddy. Haunter, I choose you. I fucking dig that bastard. If you haven't already, and he hates me for doing this, but if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Red Team Review. And check his sexy ghost ass up. You're working at a frickin'... Are you working at a sandwich? A marijuana dispensary? Carmine? Is that what kind of dispensary you're working at? Can I just sit outside and wave people in since I look like the customer base? Holy shit. Lots of love to Carmine in the chat. It was the last supper he gets you the next 200 points. Oh, bye, Smokahontas too. Lots of love. Smoke, great to see you, as always. Yeah, Carmine is in the motherfucking building. Yeah, Dwark Burger in the live chat knows where I live in reality, so he's watching me be not home right now, and he's on his way to my house. Later, Smokahontas. Yeah, this whole thing looks like the start of a creepy tale. So, boys and girls, welcome to Salem, Massachusetts. Ooh, the biscuits are burning in the Salem woods tonight. We're going to find a young, innocent person and stake them up in a tree and burn them as a witch. Sorry, that was so stupid. And what's interesting is that any Salem resident that heard me do that is like booing me right now. Boo! Way to fucking promote that bullshit, Phil. You know, that's not what witches are around here, dude. But I'm in the woods. Should I take the dark path? Or should I stay on the light? I think I need to go in the dark path. I'm scrolling to be or not to be. This is scary. Why am I sounding like Vincent Price all of a sudden? Okay, boys and girls. You always look like one of my favorite musicians, Weird Al. I definitely appreciate that, and as I've mentioned many times, probably too much for people's counts, I've met Weird Al once outside of one of his shows. Pictures to prove it. Pics or it didn't happen, I have the pic. And I walked up to him, it was right around the time that Breaking Bad was on too. I knew he was a Breaking Bad fan. And I said, with my arms out wide, "Daddy?" And he looked at me up and down, gave me one of these, you know, that looking Weird Al look, that, And then he goes, "Maybe? Come on!" And then he like waves me over. I sat down with him, took the snip pictures, and then I looked at his trailer. I said, "That's an awesome trailer. You think we can cook meth in there?" And he goes, "I gotta think about that." You know, or some sort of comment like that. So I did get to meet my daddy once, and without the too much information, I'm not completely sure who my father really is. So I'm not convinced that my mother didn't bone Weird Al sometime in the late 70s. I'm not completely sure of that. It very possibly could be the way I was born. But I also heard the other day someone said, we had a party at the house and someone referred to me as a cross between Weird Al and Frank Zappa in the way I looked. I've also heard Doug Henning, the magician Doug Henning. And I'll take all of those things, as long as you don't say I look like Steve Buscemi or something. You know, I like Steve Buscemi, but you're like, you know, Phil, you remind me of Jesus and Weird Al and fucking all this shit. You know, if you were like, you remind me of the inside of an elephant's ass. If you were like telling me I remind you of an inside of an elephant's ass, then I might be slightly offended, but granted, I've never seen the inside of an elephant's ass. It could be very pretty. It could. There could be a shine to it. Get your shine box, elephant. Do it. Someone in front of me is like, why is this voice approaching me quickly, talking like an asshole? I can't help it. I am a good asshole. Are you a good asshole? Are you a bad asshole? Good. What's going? Oh, we got DJ Better in the live chat. Lots of love to DJ. 24 in hairline. Head and wristband. He reminds me of Doug Henning. Okay, you said that. Dog, I've heard that one a lot. I had when I was a young kid, and someone called me Doug Henning for the first time. I had no clue who the fuck that was. Then I looked him up, and the people that say that are right. I probably look most like Doug Henning. If we're doing like, who does Phil look like? Does he look like Oscar the Grouch's testicle turd? No. Does he look like elephant poop? No. Does he look like Weird Al? Kinda. Does he look like Doug Henning? A lot more so. A lot more so. I definitely look like Doug Henning. He had the same goofball expression on his face that I do. I want to work there. McDonald's. Oh, McDonald's be having the worst Wi-Fi going to Wendy's. Buy smoke. Yeah, don't take the reg turd. Is Phil just taking us on a walk? Yes. Yes, I'm realizing that Phil the Issues Guy doesn't always have to be about television, since it's just the Issues Guy and I got lots of issues, so I've tried this before, but fuck it now. No more excuses. No more excuses. Daily, or at least a few times a day, walks. Whenever I take Lotus on a walk, you're just gonna have to deal. Some of this will be repetitive, some of it will just be me babbling. Sometimes I'll just be going like this. Yeah. Okay. Hi. This is what I gotta say today. Isn't that oddly uncomfortable, considering mainly how these streams happen and mainly my podcast or my live, whatever the hell you want to call this crap I do? I talk so much that when there's this small, like a 2-second break in conversation, I feel really uncomfortable. I can only imagine how it makes you feel. So, let me try that again. Now we're walking in the woods with Lotus the dog on an adventure. Lotus is hot. Some could say, some could say, hotter. Nah, there's nothing funny here. Nothing funny here. Trying to make up funny stuff. All I am is being quiet now. The road less traveled. I'll possibly do the road less traveled on the way back. I sound like the old lady from Family Guy. Okay, fella. Tales from the Dark Side. Amish Paradise, UHF, amazing movie. Amazing. I definitely have to do a review of that. And I also forgot to mention that Big Kev, who was our Super Chat donator on Monday night's podcast, got the pick a spin or pick a request, and he has picked Half Baked. So I will be doing a review of Half Baked very soon. Possibly on one of these, the next one of these. Maybe I'll watch Half Baked and then do a walk through the woods review of it. Or Joe and I will watch it at some point. Excuse me. So anything else I want to say about Mayans before I completely change the subject on that one? Like I said, Joe and I will be doing a better breakdown review. It's a lot of hype, a lot of build-up. It's a lot of difficulty connecting to the same level and same audience that Sons of Anarchy did. I do think it was quality made. I don't think it's like Bastard Executioner, which I thought that was just shit on a stick and not even well made. I think this was well made. It's a matter of if my expectations ruined my experience just a little bit, expecting it to have the same level of fun that Sons of Anarchy had, especially from the beginning, where it was, again, a little bit more serious, took itself a little bit more melodramatically at times. And when it comes to drug cartels and it comes down to deeper storytelling within universes like that, I'm always gonna have to compare it to Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul now. And on that level, it's kind of hard to relate to that. I think what always made Sons of Anarchy different was it almost had that action movie kind of vibe to it, where the boys just couldn't be in trouble. Even to the spoiler alert for Sons of Anarchy, spoiler alert for Sons of Anarchy, get the fuck out of here if you don't want to know how it ends. With Jax Teller and his ultimate conclusion, I was rewatching the final episode last night, and I think it's so funny that at the end there, where he's almost, where he's getting ready to sacrifice himself, he's just so easily getting away from the cops. He's like shooting, every shot he shoots hits somebody. The cops can't approach him, his bike's faster than everybody. And he's just sitting there looking, and Charlie Hunnam gets this smile on his face like, like, that's funny. Like I could get away if I wanted to. I'm gonna have to work to kill myself. And then Michael Chiklis comes around the corner and and Jax dies. And I think one of the things I liked about Mayans last night, and one of the cool touches, was how the episode started. Where we started with the crow on the ground and then the bobcat coming and eating it. Like, the Sons of Anarchy's over, the crows don't matter anymore. It's time for this next chapter. So I thought some elements of it were cool. I don't think we needed an hour and 45-minute episode. I think that speaks to the abundance and the maybe overdoing it that the final season of Sons of Anarchy had, where it was just like every episode was an hour and 45 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes or something, where sometimes quicker, shorter, more tight storylines are better, especially when you're establishing a show. I mean, I think a lot of times you see a double episode on the first night, and I would have rather see them do something like that rather than an hour and 45-minute movie, essentially, to start a television series. I mean, again, this isn't saying I didn't like it. Again, I think I did like it more than Bernie and the Chad. I think I liked it more than Joe, too. But, well, I'll have to wait to hear about that. Because I thought the production value, again, was really well done. I thought, in general, I liked most of the casting of the main guys. And I like how, at the end of the episode, we finally get them back sitting at a table. And you get that kind of vibe, like a Sons of Anarchy vibe as well. The show needs to Better Call Saul it in the sense of defining its own identity. I'm going to give it a chance. It's not like, oh, one episode and I'm done. Fuck that shit. Bleh. I'm going to give it some time. I might have blown it out of proportion in my mind and hyped it up a little bit too much. So I'm going to try to kind of reset, watch the episode again, talk to Joe about it, see how he feels, and then watch next week and go from there and see if it's something we're going to talk about at the end of the season or do a week-by-week sort of thing. Or if I just talk about them on these kind of streams. Oh God, I can't make it anymore. Okay, let me go. Let me click through. Centovia says, I'm at work technically. I shouldn't be watching this. There's nothing I like more than being able to help you guys play hooky at work. Here's another road that I might in fact get hit at. Someone's letting me go on one side. Thank you. That's why I'm glad I have you guys here. Because if I get hit by a car, if something bad happens, you know, you guys are there to laugh at me and point. Not like call anybody or warn anybody or say, hey Phil, you're okay. It was like when we were in New Orleans, and I almost got jumped. It was good to have you guys here, so if anything happens, at least someone could report. Weird hippie podcaster streamer last seen on the corner of that is butt crack or something. Let's go. Conan the lot, yeah, Conan period. The Wheel of Fish. Shadow, let's see what Shadow says. You set my pug puppies off just now. I bring them to my office and they always go wild when they hear you, because you make sounds like my son when you make funny noises. Puppy! Puppy power! Puppies! Cute puppies. Don't you, Phil, don't you know the Dewey Decimal System? When's your next album coming out, Weird Al? Good question. I've decided not to put out albums anymore. I think the landscape of the music scene is so much different now, so you'll probably see individual songs and videos put out by me instead of another album. I'm not saying I'll never put out another album, but the next stuff you see from me will be songs. And also I'm setting up another tour. Back to my normal tour, not so much the acoustic thing anymore. So get ready to go wild! Oh yes. If I just stepped outside suddenly, it's because the boss is walking up. No one looks like Steve Buscemi. You can add Stephen Harris to that next. Oh, mother, do 23 and me. I had a brother show up in my life. My dad is dead, so we got away with it. Ugh, it sucks, Bernie. Donnie, who loves Donnie? 50 cent Frosties for life, that's right. Any Wendy's fans or Frosties fans, they are on sale right now for 50 cents. You cheap bastards like me. I already got one too. Do it. Am I the only one waiting to see if if a skin or a clown walks up on Phil? Oh my goodness, it's gonna get scary if that happens, especially as I walk through the woods. The trees are gonna pop alive. Wait, when you get in the Weird Al Funko Pop? Maybe this holiday season? P.O. Box 236 Marblehead, Mass. 01945. You have range. I have a range. La 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 la. The GoPro adventure of Curb Enthusiasm with Phil the Issues Guy. Bum 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 bum. I do need a better solution than the selfie stick. I feel like I need both my hands. I need to get like some sort of something on my head, or some sort of one of those selfie sticks that you can wrap around your neck. I did get one, but it sucks donkey testicles. Who's my favorite superhero? Flashback. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I could go with the simple answer and say something like Batman, because it's just like, oh, everyone's favorite. Most people's favorite superheroes is Batman. Batman, the animated series, Batman. But if I'm trying to break outside the norm of that point, I mean, I guess growing up it was always Batman and Spider-Man, for different reasons. As a teenager, Spider-Man was something I could relate to, I guess. Always like Nightcrawler too, if we're going to X-Men. Rogue. Always had a Rogue crush growing up because of the cartoon. Let me think, who else? Who else would be on that short list of, I mean, there's a lot of heroes I generally like, but if I'm saying like my main list would be Batman animated series Batman, Bruce Timm's Batman, Kevin Conroy, Rogue, Nightcrawler. Will probably be my favorite superheroes. Oh yeah. Also really like Spawn, especially the HBO show. The old Spawn was excellent. I like the movie as well, but always loved Spawn, Blade, Blank Man, Orgasmo. Orgasmo's one of my favorite too. He's just fucking Joe Young. Jesus, where? But good question. Good question. Phil, guess what I'm doing today for the first time? The first time ever? What is DJ Better doing for the first time ever? I don't know. There's so much area that I could dive into inappropriately here. But what are you doing for the very first time? I don't know. Tell us. I'd love to know. I'd love to know. A good question. So that's my answer. The Batman thing, it's so overblown that it's not much getting into. I think when I think of Batman originally, it connects to the 50s or the 60s television show I used to watch when I was a kid with the monkeys and the Brady Bunch too, and like a big block. It'd be like the Brady Bunch, monkeys, and Batman. It was sickly awesome. And I don't know, Batman just was just the first one I was exposed to, and I was never a big Superman fan. I like the Christopher Reeves movies, but it didn't really appeal to me. And then when starting to read comics, I definitely gravitated more to X-Men, Spider-Man, and Batman comics. Really loved some of those early X-Men stuff and like the 80s, 90s X-Men shit. And Batman, like following it through Nightfall, and then after Nightfall, I maybe lost out a little bit on the comic stuff, but I liked Bane breaking Bruce's back. But then when like the whole power struggle started stepping up to see who would be the new Batman, I like Dick as Batman. I think Dick is a very good Batman, but Damian can go fuck himself. I'm not a big Damian fan. Anyways, enough of that talk. But yeah, no, there's a lot to that. Blank Man all the way. Hey, Peter Griffin. What's up, Peter Griffin? I still love that movie. Hey, Peter. Hey, fandom. Great new name. Bubba Husky in the live chat. Good to see Bubba. Joe talked me into finally seeing Sense8. Oh, awesome. I've heard really great stuff about Sense8. It's, Joe talks about that like it's the next coming of Babylon 5. So I've heard many good things about that, and it's definitely on my list of shows to watch at some point. Ooh, Bernie likes Sense8 too. That's another positive. I need to watch Ozarks on Netflix. I have watched season 1. I've watched the first 2 episodes of season 2. Stephanie and I have had a kind of like a crazy week, and it's one of her favorite shows. So it's tough for me to watch that one without her. So hopefully I'll be finishing that sooner rather than later, and Joe and I will be doing a season 2 mainly, but we'll touch on season 1 as well. Ozarks is a great show, and there's also some Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul cross-pollination with Ozarks. The main person that works in the show is a writer from several episodes of Breaking Bad, or a director from several episodes of Breaking Bad, and maybe even the person that worked on episode 3 of this season of Better Call Saul, possibly. Could be making that up, could not, but there is some cross-pollination, as they were talking about Ozarks on the Better Call Saul Insiders podcast, and all of them were saying how big of a fan they were, and that shared some of the pedigree of Breaking Bad. But anyways, and also True Detective season 3 that will be coming out soon is directed and showrunned by the person that wrote episode 3, or directed episode 3. I'm like, directed or wrote? I know it's 2 very different things. I'm just not sure, and I don't want to say anything factually because it could be either person. Is showrunning the new season of True Detective. And also working on a upcoming movie. Upcoming movie, Dad. Oh my god. I know, Lotus, we're almost at the point to turn around. Lotus is like, I'm done walking now, Daddy. Can we stop this walking? But Ozarks is fucking amazing. Great show. Great show in a lot of ways. There's some elements of it that I like more than others, but I think from beginning to end, at least season 1 was incredible. Very tightly woven show. It got described as Breaking Bad with even less chill. I totally understand that. I totally take that compliment. And there's nothing bad I can say about Ozarks, really. I guess the only thing I can say about Ozarks, and it's more of a compliment to Jason Bateman than anything else, I find Jason Bateman so funny at times, especially his Arrested Development character and then a couple of his bit characters here and there, that sometimes it takes me a second to realize he's not joking. You know, that he's like playing it serious. Because he has such a swarmy way about the way he delivers dialogue. And this isn't anything to do with, I think he's perfect in the performance that he gives. It's just more within me a little bit that I think, oh my goodness, Jason Bateman, you sound, I start laughing for a second. I'm like, why am I laughing? Oh yeah, this isn't supposed to be funny. He's got a little bit of that, and I think that's a credit to how good of a performance he does. That I find him that funny, and I look past it to see the intensity of the performance. But I do think even in the first couple of episodes of season 2, they're playing with his comedy a little bit more. Whereas in season 1, I think they were trying to push so far away from it that they didn't take advantage of the fact of how funny Jason Bateman can be. But this season they definitely have, in the couple times I've seen it. A great show. Can't wait to watch the whole season. One of the best shows on television right now. Ozarks. Fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. I haven't heard many people say anything bad about it, too. You know, it's one of those shows that has a good watch to like ratio. You know, some shows you show people and it's gonna be hit or miss. They're gonna like it or they're not gonna like it. It's I don't really like that. Ozark tends to be one of those shows, in my experience, that pretty much everyone that's given it a shot has enjoyed it. Lotus, you ready to turn around? Go back? Time to head in the other direction. Spin around. Oh, spin around, Lodi. Spin around. Oh, we got another friend coming up here. Hi, Lodi. Come on this side, buddy. Hi, puppy. Hi, how are you? Doing well. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. I know. But it's like, I want to go play with that dog. I don't know why I suddenly become quiet when I see someone else. I'm like, shh. I can't talk as insanely and manically right now. Because someone didn't just hear me talking for the last 15 minutes running in circles. Let's scroll through. What's up, Tim F? Good to see everybody. I normally give shows new episodes. Phil, don't get hit by a car. Sarah, no promises. It wouldn't be the first time, wouldn't be the last time. Hi, Sarah, it's awesome to see you. Hope you're wearing corduroy pants in the woods. Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Don't get hurt by hitting in a car. I won't, I promise. Phil is strong with the force. He would double flip, bat flip in the car. Wouldn't that be the most amazing thing to watch in the stream? I think my popularity would skyrocket. If I was just walking around like this, like, hey everybody. Yeah, me and Gene Okerlund, 32-inch pythons, zippity-dooba, zippity-yeah. And then suddenly like a car comes on and I do like a triple backflip. People are like, dudes, you gotta check out this guy on YouTube. He's fucking doing backflips and stuff, dude. Like, dude, like, he's tubular, man. You know? Hi, everybody. You need to watch this asshole do some backflips. First I laugh and make sure you're okay. I would expect that, okay? I'm giving everyone full permission. If I got really hurt on a live stream, you have, not that you need my permission for it, but you have my full permission to laugh at me first. Hell yes. Any situation. I say that to my friends and family because I'm so klutzy that initial reactions, you have all rights to laugh at me and my goofball klutzosity. Goofy Gilligan Charlie Brownisms. Like, laugh away. If I get hit by a boom, are you okay, Phil? That's all I want. Just make sure within the first 2 minutes of me being hurt, you ask me if I'm all right. Then laugh away. It's funny. Me being hurt is funny. Fandom, you got a new name. I'm totally slacking off watching this on my tablet. I'm totally slacking off watching this on the tablet at work. Yes! Yes! AK, I'm happier than I would be if the new Charmed sequel suddenly exploded into a million pieces and never existed and wasn't bothering my television when I see on the bottom corner, new Charmed sequel premiering. Fuck you! I don't want any new Charmed sequel. Sequel, prequel, remake, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Whatever the shit it is. Unless you're bringing back Shannon Doherty and fucking Phoebe and fucking they're all fucking alive. Fuck you! I love how the Buffy people are handling people talking about, you know, we really need a Buffy remake. And Sarah Michelle Gellar and Alison Hannigan are like, you know what, you can go fuck yourselves. We're way too young for you to be talking that we need a remake. Like you can't like just continue the storyline like the comics, like figure out where the comics are and continue from that. But I know Buffy fans out there are like, no, the comics aren't real, Phil. But you know what I mean. It's just, I think I'm all for remakes and continuations. I'm all for continuations. extended sequels, and I'm even opened up my palette a little bit to prequels of when it works, or reimaginations in comedic ways, like in 21 Jump Street or something. Like, I think things can work. I feel a lot differently than I did 2 years about all of this. That being said, I still hate when they make a reboot of something too soon and they recast characters that are still alive and well enough to play those roles with other actors. I think that's when shit gets really bad. And that's when stuff feels really awful, like in Nightmare on Elm Street. You want to recreate and make Nightmare on Elm Street scary again. You don't recast Freddy Krueger when Robert Englund can still fucking play the part, because 50 years from now, after Robert Englund dies and people watch the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, you'll be like, I wish we had one more movie with Robert Englund in it. Why didn't they do that? Why did they do that? Why did they push him out of there? What the fuck's his problem? Why am I talking like Jim's Kirk all of a sudden? Because Kirk has to do with the same thing. Why that Star Trek shit? Chris Pine's wonderful. I love me some Chris Pine. He's a very sexy individual. I like some Uhura too. I like them all. But give me an effing break. You don't need to recast Captain Kirk. You can just have, I mean, Shatner's still alive. But and I know you can't always have older actors play the parts. I just think when you get into remakes like that, you get into too much of a comparison situation. And I think prequels and sequels and remakes work the best when you can separate yourself completely from the source material. When you're trying to redo it, and you can't, and you're not necessarily comparing the characters to the other people playing the characters, because certain things are just too iconic to try to remake, or certain things are just victims of the moments in time that they exist, so they're never going to be popular again in the same way, at least in my mind. And I don't think that's always the case. I think some continuation things do work with the new casts and all that, but it needs to be done very carefully. Very carefully. Not half-assedly, like this new fucking Charmed bullshit. Sorry. Sorry, Alicia. Sorry, AK. Thanks, AK. Woo! Sorry, I'm gonna stand here and catch up on the chat before I move anymore. Frosty, Phil's a countertenor. Oh, sole mio, la 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 la, ooh, ooh. That's life, that's life. That's what all the people say. Flying high in April means you're shot down in May. I don't wanna play that too. Sorry. Fuck Batman. Love the animated series, but fuck Batman. You mean like literally? Like no, and to me, I hear what you're saying. Batman is the most exploited superhero out there. Like, if I'm naming superheroes, exploitation calendar, Batman would be in 3 of the months of the exploitation calendar of superheroes. There'd be like several different versions of Batman. You'd have Adam West Batman, you'd have Michael Keaton Batman, you'd have Bruce Timm's Batman, you'd have Batman Beyond, I mean maybe 4. But I'm saying there's like lots of Batman. But, to me, and in my mind, the Timverse, and I've said this so many times, it can make people sick, but it's honestly how I feel. The Timverse, the Batman the Animated Series, Superman Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, Zeta Project, the Justice League series, Justice League Unlimited, that is the best representation of comic books to screen I've ever seen in my life. It's better than the Marvel movies, in my mind, altogether. It's better than any other cartoon series that has ever existed. It's better than any other television series that has ever existed. My mind, the best visual representation of a comic book world is DC animated universe in the 90s cartoons. Some people could feel differently, and Batman is the central iconic force of that entire universe. So it's hard for me to get past that and get past my love for that particular character in that particular universe. Right to Old Man Bruce in Batman Beyond. Like, I love that character. I love Kevin Conroy's portrayal of Bruce Wayne / Batman. It has more depth and more understanding of that character than Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, Val Kilmer, or George Clooney ever had. Or any of the other animated people playing those parts. He just understands. And then, of course, you have Mark Hamill playing the Joker, which... Sorry, Lotus is so scared right now. She's like, what do you do with your hands? Lodi, hi. Want to come say hi to the audience? Come here. Greatest representation of all those villains. They made the Penguin a good character. There's so much. Rogue was thick in that. Yeah, Rogue was amazing in that cartoon. Broke. Ooh, Storm. I love Storm too. I love so many of the characters on that early X-Men cartoon. I don't think it aged as well as the Batman cartoon. Same with the Spider-Man one. But I think the X-Men cartoon was so iconic for kids of my generation to understand superheroes and understand that connection to comic books. For me, I had a lot of friends that were way more into reading and collecting comics than I was. I was sort of an animated cartoon guy. As with everything, I'm a television guy first, everything else separately. I mean, I love a lot of other mediums, love books, love comics, love movies, love short stories, love music, but if I had to pick one medium of entertainment that most represented me and most connected to me, it will always be television. Phil wasn't like the other kids. Remote control. Bubba says his favorite superhero is Phil the Issues Guy. Live from a place of parts unknown, weighing 368 pounds. Ant-Man, Wonder Woman, Bernie. Bernie, so many times I gain more and more crush points on you. My very first ever crush on anybody, the first time I was familiar with what attraction was Linda Carter's Wonder Woman. She was the first woman I ever looked at and had feelings for. The second one was Dolly Parton in 9 to 5, for whatever that's worth. But the first one was definitely Linda Carter. It was like, wow, who the hell is this? This is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. Juggernaut, Spawn, The Punisher, and The Flash. Ooh. You're in a deprivation tank? Holy shit, DJ. I hope that is awesome. Definitely let me know how that is. I've been looking for anything to quiet my mind sometimes. Weed prices are crazy low at the store. 1 ounce was $26.25. Mike, holy shit, dude. Where are you? How can I get there and buy at that price? Because my cheap alarm is going off, and legality cannot happen in Massachusetts soon enough for prices like that. I love Storm in the comics. She was pretty lame in the movies. I could not agree with you more on that, Santovia. And it's a shame because Halle Berry is a great actress. And I think she's proven so many times in movies like Monsters Ball and even The Last Boy Scout. No, in so many little parts that she's in here and there. Boomerang, she's exceptionally awesome in Boomerang. She's a really great actress. I think she could have played a great Storm if they directed her right. But they didn't have her keep the accent. She has like a half accent for the season 1. They give her some of the worst lines ever. They didn't really focus too much on her claustrophobia, which is a big part. There's so much that they could have done with Storm to make Storm a more interesting movie character. I'd say the two characters that got it the worst in the movies were Storm and Cyclops, which is interesting because they're the two leaders of the team, essentially. So, and I think Rogue kind of got it bad in the movies, too. I know some people enjoy the Rogue storyline in the movies, but comparatively to the Rogue I knew, it was a disappointing eventuality that we got with Rogue. And especially her conclusion in the third movie, where she takes the cure, where Rogue would never take the cure. But, I mean, they could have eventually gone to the Miss Marvel. Is that where she gets the powers? Where Rogue gets the superpowers from? But whatever. I mean, they could have gone that direction in the movies. It's tougher. I mean, I do hope one day we get to see real Rogue or the Rogue I know in some form on the screen. Obviously, Gambit was a great big part of that cartoon as well, and they've been trying to match that Gambit ever since with no success. Shockingly very good. 19% THC. No sticks or stems or seed. What? Dick on, dick on, dick on. Clear Choice Cannabis Tacoma. Oh, absolutely, dude. Mike, I'm going to take you up on that someday. Next time I'm on a trip. Since we're on the superhero show, fuck Felicity and Iris. They need to jump ship. that I often say that broke. I think the problem with those CW shows is the CW. I think casting-wise and writing-wise, for the most part, they do a decent enough job. But they seem to, in both shows, have to at least keep some sort of romance aspect on it because it's on the CW, and have some sort of useless storyline involving miscommunication and romance, because that's basically all they know how to do in the CW and to create conflict between people in a normal way. Otherwise, doing some weird sort of Gossip Girl craziness or something. CW is good at that shit. Or if you watch Riverdale or something like that. But ultimately, on shows like the superhero shows, they don't really know how to do anything but just have the characters lie. And the fact, Felicity, it goes back and forth. Certain seasons I'm bothered more by Felicity. Certain seasons I'm bothered more by Iris. For the most part, at the beginning of Flash, I never really was bothered by Iris. I thought she was a far more interesting character, being a reporter, having her own life, having her own storyline. But as they introduced more and more characters in the show, the character just sort of went to the backside, and there was that half a season where Iris was literally doing nothing. They had nothing to do with her. So they turned the story around to make it so she's the leader of the team. And I just don't buy this, and I don't like her in that role. Especially once Barry shows back up. It's like, okay, get back to your life. Felicity, I think Felicity has the capability of being an interesting character. I think in early seasons of Arrow, she's tremendously interesting. Once they get together, it sort of goes off the rails, because first of all, it seems like they just put them together because she's the hot one on the show and he's the hot one on the show. I didn't feel like there was a lot of build-up for it. It was like, oh, yeah, she's around Oliver. Of course she wants to fuck him. Like, okay. Of course she's in love with him. And then they just kind of went with that. I didn't necessarily love that decision. I always thought Laurel was Oliver's it girl, not Felicity, but they kind of switched it over to Felicity. How's it going? And so I wasn't really a big fan of that. And then when they did that season where basically everything Oliver did, Felicity had to complain about, I thought that kind of defeated the character. But I like when they have Felicity not be always right, and they can have her do fucked up shit and make mistakes. And that's what they've basically done with the most recent season of Arrow. I thought this past season that we just had wasn't a great season, but it was one of the better seasons of Arrow that we've had in a while. Excuse me. And I thought it was a horrible season of Flash. Anyways. Ooh. On a website, I mean, doubt anybody. We've got daily issues. Yes, we do. Oh, we got my thumb on the camera is what we got. I'm going to mail a half to Phil. Ooh, I would not say no. You know where my P.O. box is. I have no control on what is sent to me. Yeah, who is this fandom saint? I'm like, is this Findom? Are you like a financial dominatrix broke? Who's this Findom broke? Now it all makes sense. Broke has changed himself to a Findom, which is a financial dominatrix. And he is getting your money. I want to turn this stream into that kind of thing. Hi. Be like, hi everybody. Donate to me. I need your money, or I need to quit doing this. Donate. Ozark Season 2 really picks up after the second episode. I was laughing at the screen a lot. Oh, I can't wait. Hey, Ian. Fandom is Sam. Oh, no, it's broke. I answer the question with a Funko Pop. Hey, Tim. It's a new channel name, broke, or just a temporary name. Jason Bateman, Teen Wolf 2. Yes, the star of Teen Wolf 2. The boxing movie. Far superior to Teen Wolf 1. Now that I can dance. Watch me now and work, woo, work it now, baby. Also had the guy who was in Night Court, and was he the original Gomez Adams? Or was he in The Monsters? I'm feeling much better now. That guy plays the principal in Teen Wolf 2. Harry Stone's dad. Bateman is great. His facial expressions are on point. The bloody talker is in there. Jason Bateman, yep, starting out on Silver Spoons. Also, Valerie's Family was a big starting point for Jason Bateman. And then eventually, the Hogan Family. And then he had his own spin-off. No, it wasn't even a spin-off. He had his own series that was about this kid that lived across the hallway from his teacher. and he was sort of like a Ferris Bueller kind of like character. And I want to say like the teacher might have been dating the mom or something. And it was just this weird interactions where they'd fuck with each other back and forth. It was only on for a half a season. I don't know the name of it, but I followed Jason Bateman to that show too. I've been a Jason Bateman fan since Silver Spoons. You're watching the Daily Issues program, brought to you by issuesprogram.com. If you about the Issues Program podcast, if you haven't subscribed and you're liking this silliness, make sure you subscribe for daily or semi-daily goofball walking streams like this, where I'm just stream of consciousness getting out this shit in my head that my people in normal life never want to hear. Paul Q, great to see you. I have not checked out The Outlaw King yet, but you did tell me about that, so I'm definitely going to try it at some point ASAP. Cadigan, I haven't seen Cadigan in a while. Lots of love to Cadigan in the chat. Morning, Tim. We got Tim Gersh telling me to shut the fuck up from his bed. Right on, Phil. They're portraying Marty Bird this season, playing into Bateman's comedy. Awesome, cool. And I feel like maybe in season 1 they played away from it a little bit, which I understand, because you want to make sure you set the standard that this isn't a normal Jason Bateman character. But as time goes on, I love if they are going to play with it more, because Bateman's comedy can be so subtle that I think it could fit perfect with that, in a similar way as Cranston's did with Breaking Bad. Even though Cranston's comedy is a little bit more over the top, if you look at Malcolm in the Middle, Cranston's just one of those guys that can kind of play off-putting subtle comedy. But he's not necessarily like a look at him, laugh kind of guy. Hal was funny, but it was more the crazy situations Hal would get into on Malcolm in the Middle. Whereas Jason Bateman is just a funny personality. He has that sardonic charm about him that I will be very excited to see used in that kind of context. Hey. I know. Do you see that dude that I walked by was like, hello? Are you talking to me? Excuse me. I would gladly pay you tomorrow for a hamburger today. Chewing gum. Out of nowhere, grass shark attack. Dun-dun, dun-dun, blah! I'm sorry, Lotus. Lotus is getting so scared from my screams. She's like, what did I do wrong that you're punishing me like this? Excuse me. I'm a goofball. Okay, let's keep going. Let's do a flip, Phil. You just want to see me be hurt, you fucking evil bastard, broke. Oh, we got Forrest in the live chat. Hey, Forrest, great to see you. Great Brainwash sending me some hearts. See, this is why I love doing this on random times a day. I always get to see some friends I don't normally get to see. Also, as we're, you know, certain shows bring certain people in. So these kind of random streams also bring in just random folks. So thank you so much for popping on in here. To anyone that's checking this out or have made it this far, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more silliness and more of these kind of streams. No, Silver Spoons was, oh, Ricky Schroeder. Okay, yes, Ricky Schroeder. Yes, Ricky Schroeder. And also the guy from Fresh Prince was on there as his best friend, Alfonso Rivera. One of the best Silver Spoons episodes was... Silver Spoons was just a cool show in general, watching as a kid, because it was this house that had all these things you could never fucking play with. And I got machines and the toys that the dad had, and all got redecorated. Ah, stop! Shh, bite your tongue. Who would you chill with and drink beer, Skinny Pete or Badger? Well, I think the common answer probably would be Badger, because he seems more personable. But Skinny Pete, if I remember correctly, is an amazing pianist. So, being a musician myself, I would probably want to hang out with Skinny Pete and jam. Be it like with a drum set and smoke a couple of blunts and eat a couple sandwiches and hang out with that. Let me flip the camera around because I want to take a quick bite of a sandwich over here. I want to take a quick bite of a sandwich. Can I put this camera down? Is it possible to put the camera down for a second? Is it possible to put the camera down for a second? Let's see if we can do this. Wait, camera. Sorry, everybody. Let me flip this around a little bit. Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Phil. I'm in the woods right now for a special kind of party. It's called a hippie party. I'm almost home. I can wait. I can wait for my sandwich. There's too many people around. So, I watched Black Panther last night. Michonne was so bad with the spear. Yes, that charm nonsense is disgusting. We don't need one. Let's go. Buffy comics were good. Hey, Nymeria! Lots of love to Nymeria and also to Nick. Hopefully you two are both doing excellently. Lots of love, Nymeria. A Cinemax version would be killing me. Remakes and reboots are finally our final statements on creativity. K-Rich! Great to see K-Rich. Skinemax. Hey, Ian. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through. I hate this trails. Wow, it looks beautiful out here. It really is. It's excellent weather. It's a cool little path. Cool. Oh, I'm just turning it around like you guys can see the camera. It's a cool little path in the woods. Probably, I'm not sure exactly how far I walked, but it's probably about 5 or 6 miles total. Maybe a little more, a little less. Little more, little less. Brainwash, no, you're looking good. Did I do that? Yep. My rule is just wait until they're dead or have young actors study the older actors and have them locked down completely. I agree with that. I think especially has to do when they're dead and cannot reprise those roles. Personally, in most cases, 95% of cases, I would always rather an older actor play the character that they played before than have some new actor try to reprise the role. If an actor is still working, I mean, it's one thing if someone's retired and such, but the fact of how quick they are to replace actors when they don't need to kind of really bothers me. Hey, Bubba. Ah, Lotus, you're pulling me. It's hard to look at the chat when you're pulling me like that, honey. Oh, the phone stream doesn't have the computer. Oh, it doesn't have the closed caption? Weak. Isn't Shannon Doherty making that white collar show? Oh, Shannon Doherty's working again? Awesome. Awesome. There are a lot of young people dying for a chance, but Hollywood won't listen to their ideas. And that's a big part of it too, that instead of taking the chances on projects, what ultimately happens is they go, oh, there's X amount of built-in audience on a old franchise. Why don't we just mine that and make some easy money rather than taking a chance on a new thought and a new plan, It used to be just the opposite. It used to be that there were franchises that you got franchise fatigue on after 3 movies or 4 movies, and then they stopped them in the prime of where a movie could keep making movies to go with new ideas to try to create something new. I mean, Hollywood always goes in circles and cycles, and always is about money first. But it used to be that the money was more in new ideas, like in the 70s and the 80s, and even the early 90s to a certain extent. It was all about coming up with new properties and new iconic things, but not in all cases. I mean, I think a better example of when remakes are work is when you have a Scarface, original Scarface movie. A lot of people don't know there was an original Scarface. Cape Fear, it's a little bit more known, but there's also a original Cape Fear movie. Those are 2 excellent movies in different eras, but they were both remakes and they worked. Because enough time had passed and you're in an era where it makes sense to make another version of that movie. Where technology catches up, where you can do things in those movies that other people can't, or you just want to say an interesting take on that. But now we need to make X amount of profits on this right now, and how can we do this? By doing something familiar. Nostalgia's in, so it's catering into nostalgic personality traits. And let's put out something that's just going to make people feel nostalgic. That's why even within television, you're seeing all these different franchises being rebooted or coming back. To the point now where Frasier's announcing that Frasier's coming back with none of the same actors and just Frasier living somewhere else. Next thing you know, you're going to have a Family Ties reunion. like God damn it. The Batman channel, all Batman all the time. A lot of good scripts and ideas, but they won't budge. It's like politics. The old won't retire, won't move on. And don't forget to thumbs up this video. I really do appreciate that. Spider-Man, Radioactive Spider-Man. We'll see when that comes on in the treatments. Saturday morning cartoons. Mine's is Jesus, my hero, my favorite superhero. I thought you were gonna say Hulk Hogan, Phil. That would have been the best joke considering our stream today. Would have been Hamlet is my favorite. Because this is all about Hamlet. Oh, what a piece of work is man. See you, Centovia. Thank you for playing some hooky with work with me. Hulk, when I was in 4th grade, everyone wrote in a famous person. I was the only one that got a reply. It was Hulk Hogan. Hulk definitely did reply to people. I wrote him a letter too when I was a kid. I got a reply. I was way into that whole generation of wrestlers. It's easy to rag on them now, but Hulk, Andre the Giant, Junkyard Dog, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Roddy Piper, all the pro stars. You know, all that whole era of wrestlers were British Bulldog, Heart Foundation. I love that era of wrestling. Later, guys. Motherfucking chat. Phil, be safe. He told me to eat my vitamins, so I smoke herb in his honor. You take your THC vitamins, Peter. Yeah, Miss Marvel was like in a coma, if I remember. Yes, Nymeria. Thank you for catching up on that. Exactly. I believe Rogue put her in a coma, and then she takes her powers or something. So I do hope they go there eventually in a movie somewhere, because I thought that Rogue was very interesting. No, I think you're right. Eat your vitamins, take your steroids. A cousin of mine briefly dated Hulk Hogan in the early 80s, like before he was like, or late 70s, early 80s, before he was super big, and when he was just, he was some wrestler called the Blue something, and she has pictures with him. She said she injected him a couple of times with steroids. Need that Steph and Phil Riverdale podcast. I was going through some of my old comics and stumbled upon Marvel's Hell's Storm. Some pretty dark stuff. I have not seen that. Was he at all in? I don't think so. Phil's in the Haunted Woods. Madman. You gonna sneak up behind me and go, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna kill you. Ooh, Arrow was terrible. Too much romance. We are the Flash. Writing, listened to the fans, and shipped Oliver and Felicity. Blech. Yuppie faced Christopher Daniels. Amell jumped off the top rope and went through the table outside. It looked really good. Oh, Stephen Amell showed up at a wrestling event. Season 3 was the end of Good Felicity. Feels like Phil is in the Blair Witch Project. I thought they went wrong on Arrow when they tried to do too much and everyone can fight. I agree. I think Arrow started to get bad when we went to Team Arrow. I think Team whatever works with Flash, but with Arrow, it works better when Oliver's more on his own. Findom, like the show Billions. Yes! A melon bullet. You broke. I didn't realize you did some Legion recaps for Findom. I was late to the party. Ozarks is the shit. That's right, Travis. That fight choreography on Arrow looks all the same, and that's the problem. The fight choreography on Arrow looks like fight choreography when it should look like Daredevil. And I know Daredevil isn't perfect, and I know I lick the labia of Daredevil, of the Daredevil Netflix series. But ultimately, the way that the action's shot on that should be the standard. I love I love Bloody Talker using the Findom terminology and saying, Phil, I'll be your little pay pig if you watch Outlaw King tomorrow. Bloody Talker, I love that you're on my level sometimes. Hey, everybody in the motherfucking chat. Nancy T, the wonderful, lovely Nancy T. Yeah, where is Outlaw King? Ooh, pay pig emoji. The Outlaw King is on the Netflixes. Do me a favor, Bloody Talker, right now, if you have access to it, send me an email at igotissuesman@gmail.com saying, Phil, watch Outlaw King, you asshole. Or send me a private message on Twitter or whatever. Groot, I'm Groot. What's a Groot? Hey, Lotus and Phil. Hey, Nancy T. Lotus will have to drag you home. Iris, we are Groot. What's up, Madman? I can't watch your Better Call Saul's recaps. I'm not caught up yet. But what's awesome about what we do, or what I do, is do enough shows, enough babblery that there's enough time, enough day, enough year. Eventually you'll check it out and hopefully be able to check out our other stuff until then. Phil versus Joe Dirty Locks on YouTube. Mike, in reasonable discussions, if I'm being fair about this, Joe would knock me out probably in a boxing match. Joe, who does have some boxing and wrestling training and fighting training just in general. And me, Mr. Goofy hippie ass, that I could only fight if I hated somebody. Like if I hated someone and was really angry, or if I was worried about the safety of myself, my family, my friends, or any of my motherfucking chatters, I'd go like crazy. I mean like, not real life Mel Gibson crazy, but Riggs crazy, where it's rah, 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 and start hitting myself and going nuts or just be a complete madman. But like in a regular setup, like, hey, you two fight in a boxing match, Joe would destroy me. Destroy me. I could take a hit, but he would probably block most of my punches. I don't think I'd go down, but he'd win by decision in a fucking second. He would love that. That'd be like me and Joe in a drum-off. Like Joe Dirty Locks versus Phil the Issues Guy in a drum-off. Who will win? No one knows. Feed the hungry hippos. But yeah, trust me, you don't want to see that fight. A forest sandwich. Now all the ladies are gonna look for that sign and wait for that autograph. Yo, brother, ghetto toad. I just smoked a sandwich. You got $25 ounces of sandwich meat, you asshole. Mike. The East Coast cooled off a little bit. It's still pretty fucking hot today. But for me, I wish it'd stay this way all year round. I mean, there's a little bit more of a breeze in the last 2 days, but this week is still gonna be a little hot to trot. Oh, I will, Nancy T. Lotus, you wanna kiss from Nancy? Lotus is like, no, Phil, you leave me alone. You leave me alone right now. Lotus, kiss. Oh, there she goes. She gave you a kiss, Nancy. There you go. She actually did kiss the phone. That was great. Good job, Lotus. Way to be a good little pay pig. Shadow says, I was a client and I missed some. Did anyone here mention the greatest of... Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could be so free. Whoa, what is wrong with my camera? It's weird. This side camera, I think it got all sweaty or something. Oh, there we go. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could be so free. Riding around on a wing in a prayer. Who could it be? I love that show. That was like one of my favorite shows. We're talking about reboots and remakes and stuff. I know they tried to remake that several times. I think what you miss out from the original is, again, the sense of humor. The sense of wonder that you could just never have again. Greatest American Hero was awesome. One of my favorite childhood shows. I love the fact that it was like the superhero book and he didn't know how to be a superhero, so he kept crashing. I think the crashing was so key about that. And the how, probably wouldn't age as well, but looking back on it, how it looked just as good as Superman. And I remember him having like a cool partner too, them having like a cool, what was it, like a general that had a cigar in his mouth. Mr. Listen, Hinckley. They changed his name too in the first season. The first season, the character's name was Ralph Hinckley, I believe, which is the same guy that shot Reagan because he wanted to impress Jodie Foster. True story. So they changed the name at the last minute in the second season to whatever his name was in the second season that I forget. But I'm pretty sure I remember all that. Oh, I love it. When's the Beavis and Butthead reunion? I've been trying to get Beavis on the phone for a while, and he just doesn't return my calls. I mean, we all know, Beavis became a fireman. He's like, fire, 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 I want to put it out. You know, it totally switched around with him. He tripped on acid once, and when he came out of that trip, he's like, I no longer like fire. Hey, I want to put it out. Meh. So we'll let Beavis do what he does. When Beavis finally gives me a call, me and him can do a reunion. But until then, you just have to deal with the Butthead broadcast. Don and Jeff. Jake the Snake Roberts with Damien. Rest in peace, Roddy. Andre the Giant. I met Andre the Giant once in the Orlando airport. Forget what year it was, but Andre was really sweet, like extremely sweet. The biggest thing I remember from it, it was Andre and the other wrestler called Haku. Anyone remembers Haku? And Andre was so fucking awesome. I remember he grabbed my hand and he like wrapped what seemed like his hand went around mine like 5 times. But he was, oh, hi. Knowing what I know about Andre now, he's probably shit-faced at the time, but he's very nice. Where are you in Martha's Vineyard? No, I am in Salem, Massachusetts right now. The blue ball sack. I think I want to name my band that. Oh. I think I'm going to name my band Blue Ball Sack. Mike, that's very hilarious. Let's go this way for a second. Shh, I'm gonna whisper to you. I totally didn't even notice that person walking behind me, and I'm like screaming blue ball sack. I'm like, hey, blue ball sack, and just turn around and I look in the camera. Like I'm a spy and I see the rearview mirror, someone that looked like they were right behind me, like objects may appear closer than they really are. Like, I totally just could have got attacked. And I wouldn't have even known it. Fuck. That's a gorgeous view, Phil. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I'm trying to. I know a lot of these streams, there's just like clumsy shaky cam, like Blair Witch or something. I have to get a better selfie stick, but I'm the blue meanie. But I hope you guys are enjoying it. Macho Man Randy Savage, whose real last name is Poffo, had a brother named Leaping Lanny Poffo, who also wrestled around the same time. And his whole deal was he would write poems on Frisbees, and he would throw them out to the audience members when he would show up. And both the Poffos were almost professional baseball players. You can actually see early Macho Man baseball cards. I believe he was on the White Sox. He was a catcher, I think. So what happens with a lot of professional wrestlers or of that era, they were athletes that couldn't quite make the majors in whatever sport they were trying to get in, so they decided to do professional wrestling instead. And Macho was a baseball player. We're in the God's Eye right now. Game of Thrones! Fucking love it. Ben Affleck just kills superheroes. He's the greatest. Nancy T is the greatest. My favorite superhero is Nancy T. Lindsay C. Lots of love to Lindsay C. Hey, we'll find out eventually. Joey's gonna kill you. Oh, Joe would destroy me. Maybe you could bite his ankle or something. Joe does have weak ankles. It's true. I could go for the legs. And once Joe's on the ground, I mean, he does have grappling on his side. He is a wrestler. Just start crying and fall on the ground. When he turns his head in disgust, that's when it's time to go for the kidney punch or something. I think I'm probably dirtier than Joe. I don't know about that. I've seen Joe in some real fights. He's a dirty motherfucker. Joe's not someone you want to fuck with. That's all I'll say. I've seen Joe do some crazy fucking shit in fights. I'm laughing at it like it's funny, but we'll try to get Joe to tell some stories sometimes on the air. But yes, I've definitely seen Joe make some choices in fights that were more than that make me not want to necessarily get into it with him. But that being said, I have talked shit to Joe, and I've gotten Joe's face before a couple of times. But cause almost like Darren, because I know he'd never hit me. But in a boxing match where it was like set up in a sporting sort of environment, he would kick the living piss out of me and not think twice about it. And I'd have to use some psychological warfare against him to not get killed. I've seen pretty good way of avoiding getting beaten. Statistics say if you pull down your pants, he will leave you alone. Now Lotus has just decided that she is going to rest up for a little while, so let me wait here and catch up with the chat. And Lotus number 1, oh little drogy doggy. Thank you, Lotus. Lotus is a sweetie. The boxing issues program with Phil getting his ass kicked. Like that guy from This Is America or whatever they call it. Oh, Lotus, hi! Oh, she's like, I'm resting, I'm rolling and I'm resting. You enjoying yourself? You enjoying yourself for the audience? What's going on? I'm lying down. I ain't moving, asshole. I wonder if people in their yards are hearing Phil go, what the fuck? Oh, I bet they are. It's people on the path too. I'm like right near the college. Right now I'm just on the college campus. And where I was walking before was definitely very close quarters that I know for a fact people are like, did someone just say fuck? Perhaps when you act like the monkey guy from Bloodsport, you survive so many rounds. I think that would work. Thank you, Bloody. Oh yeah, Little Bride told me that there's going to be a ginger ale chat on the 22nd. You heard it here first. Ooh, Little Birdie told me that there's going to be a ginger ale chat. Hey Saint, good to see you again. Good to see all of you guys. Ginger ale, I need some ginger ale. Phil had to go PG-13 real quick. The cheese. Nacho man. I want to be a nacho man. Dude, Lanny Poffo was at all in too. He came out with the black machismo J lethal in the past. He had frisbees. Yep, Leaping Lanny Poffo was no fucking joke. He would fly around. His frisbees were awesome. I always wanted to catch one of his frisbees in his match. And he was one of those guys that usually would start a card, like you'd show up at the Boston Garden or something for a wrestling card, and the first match would be Leaping Lanny Poffo. But really good guy. Reminds me of The Rock's story. He got injured, so they let someone fill in for him. That man was Warren Sapp. The rest is now history. Was The Rock on Tampa Bay, or was this in college? Hi, look, I don't want to be on camera right now. I'm too cool for the camera. Did you see how she did that? She's turning around. She's like, listen, buddy. I know what you want to do. I know you want to sell me out on the air right now. Lotus the dog. Give the audience kisses. Oh yeah, you fucking little bastard. You little girly girl of the girl cheese. Happy birthday to Lotus. Happy birthday, you 6-year-old goofball. Yep. I'm just gonna shut up now and film my dog flipping over and over again. I'm gonna get on. He was wearing Macho Man's actual gear from WCW, accompanied by Leaping Lanny. That is awesome, dude. Joe's dreadlocks can take down an opponent. Fact. Chased Brandy Rhodes around and she was like, I'm not Liz. Doggy face. When my dog does that, she's rolling in shit. Lotus does that too. She likes to roll in rabbit shit. You're gonna have to carry her home. Oh, I'm gonna have to drag her ass home. She's a stubborn little bitch. Yes, and I use that word correctly because you are. Little girl. I grew up watching The Rock, Triple H, and X-Pac, Eddie Guerrero. A little birdie, not a bride. I'm gonna go with bride. Gotta roll out, kids. AK, thank you so much. I'm almost home. Gonna be cutting this out soon too. Thank you for playing some hooky at work to enjoy the silliness, AK. It's always awesome. Huge hugs to you. I miss... he beat Hulk Hogan one time. Oh, college. Okay, it was in college. By AK. Florida State, I think that happened. Oh yeah, I think Sap went to Florida State. I believe you were right about that. Oh no, Miami. Thank you, Travis. I knew it was in Florida. God, I love the live motherfucking chat and you guys. Yeah, The Rock was a hurricane. Oh, babes. Sorry, I turn into a 2-year-old when I see dogs and cats. Where's your bushy baby? Where's your bushy baby? Where's your Lotus? You good, Bubba? Eddie Guerrero was the man. I lie, I cheat, I steal. Oh, one of the best Jesse the Body Ventura lines ever was similar to that. Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. It's a Road Dog fan. And we're almost caught up here. Yes, and we're caught up in the chat. Finally. So thank you, everybody. Let's start to walk. Lotus. Lotus, you wanna come? Lotus, come on. Lotus, you wanna come? The look. The look. No, actually I don't. Actually, I'm staying here. Asshole. I'm not going anywhere with you. Lodi, come on. Will you come with me? I think my dog is dead. Holy shit. Someone call the ambulance. My dog is dead. No, you're not. Come on, Puppy City. Let's go. We're almost home. We're almost home. Come on. Okay, I guess we're not going anywhere for a while. Lotus. Are you just the most disgustingly cute thing on the planet? We need to go. What you crying about, doggy? We need to go home. Are you hungry? You want to eat? You hungry? You want to eat? Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go home. Let's go home. I tricked her into it with food. I tricked her into it with food, and we're on our way. We're the next Lenny Bruce. We're on our way. Come on. Come on. Come on, Puppy City. She's like, no, I don't want to walk anymore, especially with you talking. Stop it. Let's go, puppy. Come on, Puppyzilla. I just walked past more people that were giving me that. What the fuck is your problem talking to yourself, look? Yeah, that's my problem. My problem is you looking at me weird. Otherwise, I'm making perfect fucking sense. Get her some water. I am. That's why I'm trying to get her home. We're very close to home. But she does need some water. That is true. I should bring water with me. I'm a horrible pet parent. I suck. Someone call the ASPSCA. I'm pulling my dog by its neck. Such a bastard. Right, dog, aren't I a bastard? Excuse me. Ah, come on. Aren't I a bastard, you dog? No, not a bastard, but get me home, asshole. Just yell I didn't take my meds today. Next person I walk by, let's pretend that I'm like completely fucked in the head. Pretend. Let's pretend. So what have we learned today on this walk? We've learned to be or not to be is a very important question. What does it mean? It means to be or not to be. It can mean a lot of things. To live or not to live is the essential way that the line is described or analyzed. Hamlet's asking, should I live or should I continue? But it could also be viewed in a different way. Do I fuck with people or do I just accept it? I think in life sometimes you can be faced with piles of ludicrous shit all exploding at the same time. To be, do you deal with it and fight back? Or not to be, do you say, fuck you? I decided to say no and say fuck you. And how I'm gonna handle my insanity is by expressing it to all of you guys. So to be or not to be meant, is it time to stop doing this shit? Or is it time to just fucking say fuck all and go all in? And I'm going all in. So that's what we've learned today. We learned that Mayans wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but we're gonna watch it again. We learned that it's Lotus's name day. Lotus is 6. Sex! Lotus had sex, but she didn't. She better not have. She's only a 6-year-old. If you touch Lotus, you're in trouble. Any bulldogs, Great Danes, stay the fuck away from my girl. We learned that Hulk Hogan has 24-inch pythons. We learned that Leaping Lanny Poffo is a thing. We learned about remakes and reboots and Cheese Whiz and all the delights. We learned that people in cars driving past me like to look at me like I'm insane. Wait, is that Weird Al and Jesus' love child? No, I'm Doug Henning. They know what I'm talking about. But most of all, I learned that I love you even more every single day. Ah! So as I get ready to cross the street and walk finally back to my home, we'll start to wrap this shit up a little bit more. A little bit. Thank you. One person's letting me go and someone else is letting me go. I will not be hit by a car today. Thank you. Not today. What do I say to the god of death? Not today, not today. What does a Klingon say? Today is a good day to die. But not today, sons, not today. You guys have been awesome as always. Bernie says, what did I learn today? I don't know. This stream just made me dumber. That's the kind of effect I have on people, Bernie. That's the kind of party that we're having. It's a film make people dumb thing. Huh? No, I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already and you enjoy this silliness, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Please share the channel with a friend. Think about helping us out on Patreon, donating on PayPal, Super Chat, all those ways of helping the channel grow. And all the other ways passively through our Amazon link or any of the other shit like that you can find in the description box below. Love you guys. I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.